A firm uses a combination of the four factors of production to produce its output. The firm pays for these factors of production. They are the expenses of the producer to produce a given level of output. The sum of the payments for all the factors used to produce the good is the cost of production. In the production process, economists usually define two periods of time, the short run and the long run. The short run is that period when it is not possible to vary the quantities of all the factors of production used in the production process. The short run is defined as that time during which it is not possible to vary the quantities of all the factors of production used in the production process. In the long run, it is possible to vary all factors of production. The short run is that period when it is not possible to vary the quantities of all the factors of production used in the production process. The short run is defined as that time during which it is not possible to vary the quantities of all the factors of production used in the production process. In the long run, it is possible to vary all factors of production. A variable factor is one the amount of which can be varied in the short run. Labor and raw materials are variable factors. Their quantities can be varied in the short run to increase or decrease production. In the short run, labor and raw material are considered variable factors, since the amounts of these factors used can be varied at short notice in order to increase production. Raw materials can be increased within hours by just using up more from stocks at the factory. Orders and delivery of stocks can be made in days. Also, new workers can join the firm in a matter of days. The factors of production remaining unchanged in the short run, even when production increases, are termed fixed factors of production. A fixed factor is a factor the amount of which it is not possible to vary in the short run. Land and capital are usually fixed factors. In the short run, land and capital are generally considered fixed factors, as increased amounts cannot be acquired within a reasonable time to increase production. In the long run, if the firm wishes to increase its output, and it cannot increase its efficiency by changing the quantities of the variable factors used, it can do so by increasing all its factor inputs. Additional labor and raw material can be used. Land and machinery can also be acquired. Therefore, in the long run, all factors of production are variable. The short run and the long run are not specified in terms of weeks or months. These periods vary with the good being produced and the factors of production used. For instance, the Solo Beverage Company Limited soft drink factory might wish to produce more soft drink to meet increasing demand. In the short run, they could do so by employing more labor, using more raw materials, and working more and longer shifts in the factory. Solo cannot produce more soft drink by using a second production plant. Building a second plant will take time, maybe a year. This is the long run for this firm, that is, the time it takes to vary all factor inputs. In the long run, Solo can build its second plant and expand production. The firm will then use more land, labor, capital and even entrepreneurship to produce more output. As output increases, more variable factors are used. Therefore, as output increases, payments to the variable factors, that is, total variable costs, increase. If output must be reduced, the number of variable factors used will be decreased. Therefore, as output decreases, the payments to the variable factors, that is, variable costs, decline. This means that there is a direct, or positive, relationship between variable costs and output. Total cost, TC, is the sum of total fixed costs and total variable costs incurred in producing a given level of output. Recall, total fixed cost, TFC, is the sum of all payments for fixed factor inputs. Total variable cost, TVC, is the sum of all payments for the variable factor inputs. This relationship can be summarized using the following equations. Total cost is equal to total fixed cost plus total variable cost. The second equation is total variable cost is equal to total cost minus the total fixed cost. And total fixed cost is equal to the total cost minus total variable cost.